What is up, family? What is good in the hood? My goodness gracious. Have we gotten those upsides or what? Throw those A's in the chat if you can hear your boys speak. Let me get those A's in the chat right now. Moderators, what is good? Cal L, Mark Roach, Sebastian Lim. How's it going, my dudes? Hound, what is up? What is up? What is up? I don't know if I actually saw Samantha H in here, but hello to you as well. What is up, chat? Good to see everybody in here. Throw those A's in the chat if you can hear your boys speak. Just need to make sure that the sound is actually coming through from my microphone into your devices or ears. What is up, family? Good to see everybody here in the chat tonight. Very exciting times. My goodness gracious, I know you guys have some very interesting stories for me. Stick Vicious, what is up, my dude? Good to see you here. COSM Arca quote, stupid upside potential. I absolutely mean it, man. What is up, Monster Mike? Good to see you here. T Wood, always good to see you. What's up, Steve? Oh my goodness, little AR-15. You're getting an echo right now or what? Are you getting an echo? Oh my goodness. So your voice sounds great as always. Thank you so much, Infamous. Really appreciate you. Oh my goodness. So what is up, Mark Roach? Yes, we're going to be taking a look at ticker symbol SMX. So it's going to be the first one right after the broader markets, and then we will look deeper into the other tickers as well. So let's see who else is in the chat. What is up, Baso Emmy? We'll go ahead and take a look at TENX, and define dead, right? What is up, Cal L? My dude, I was actually talking to you about COSM earlier. I have to have you watch that video if you haven't done so already. But dude, definitely check it out. Okay, so what's up, Scylla? We'll be looking at CEOS again. Okay, not a problem. Go ahead and refer to the tabs right up here on my screen. I know you can see my screen now, right? So refer to these tabs right up here so you can see what the schedule is looking like thus far. All right, so what up, Wolf? So that's WW Wolf. Hello to you as well. Thank you for coming by. Thank you. We have a very excellent show tonight. We actually do have a great amount of tickers to look at, and if you haven't done so already, please go ahead and refer to my videos, as I just loaded some very impactful GTII and COSM videos. Okay, you guys, I definitely encourage you to look at those because there are some serious opportunities in the market. Okay, you guys, so definitely check it out. Oh right, Mr. Levitz, I remember somebody actually did ask me about ticker symbol GME, right? So I'll go ahead and add it yet again, just in case. I just want to make sure that we can actually get to it, right? So let's see here. I think it was actually this one right here. We're gonna have to change the peripheral into the new settings, right? So we do have that that new preset, right? Actually, I know you guys are noticing that I went all light, so it is in respects to just the monthly closure, which is coming up, right? So new light, new highs, new plays. Let's get it, guys. Everything is looking pretty good. And yeah, like I said, I want to encourage everybody to kind of look at those tickers, COSM and GTII, because there are absolute opportunities there, you guys. But if you haven't done so already, please make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. And in the links in the description below, you'll also take a look. You'll also find, the trading course, the master's course. So go ahead and reserve your seat, get enrolled before it's too late, right, you guys? So also you'll see the Twitter there, the Discord. Join up and say hi to some excellent people there, right, you guys? But yes, very excited to be streaming tonight, guys. We got a lot of things to prepare, and as you can see, we actually did get that 25 BIP, and the markets did reflect pretty good upside on that day, right? So of course we're always going to get that up and down and up and down. JDXL telling me that he watched both of them. I hope you did enjoy them, my dude, because there is an absolute amount of just confluence everywhere, right? So I want you to not take it from my excitement. Take it more from the validations and the confluence within the targets, because that's essentially what we look for as experienced traders, right? We look for the rhyming, we look for the opportunities, the arbitrage, the all of the confluent signals. My goodness, can't speak English today. So Scylla saying, you are crazy talented. I've been turning my friends onto you. That's very nice of you. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate that, right? So it's good to, show your friends this, because I really do mean well. I do not actually express my own personal opinions. I do hear on the live, sometimes it happens, right? But I like to express what the statistics have to say, what mathematical models have to say, because that's what's most important, guys. It's just how the markets, how the broader institutions, right? The big guys, the smart money, how they're referred, right? They are the ones who have this like real talent, and I want to reflect what they actually do, right? So they're looking at mathematical models. I want to implement them too, you guys. So that's essentially what we're looking at. But yeah, not a problem, dude. I'll go ahead and look over that ticker symbol BOIL. I'll put it on the schedule, right? So we already have kind of a little bit of a ridiculous schedule, but it's on there no matter what. Okay, so I forgot. I'm not catching it, right? LABU was another one. Okay, cool. I'll put it on there as well, my dude. You know how it goes, dude. I'll try my best to get to it. Sometimes we actually do, sometimes we don't, but it's all good, right? Here we go. Jeez, I couldn't even get it up and running, right, man? My goodness. Monster Mike, what is good, man? Thank you so much for your donation. That really does mean a great deal to me and my family. Please let me know, Monster Mike, if there's anything I can do for you. Or if there's any ticker that we can evaluate, right? As I mean, to be honest, I may not be able to get to it tonight. I'm sorry, in the live stream, but I can get to it tonight for you. Okay, so let's go ahead and just make sure that we can have all our tools up and running, right? Actually, this is not the ticker that we're going to be looking at, but I did want to replace it with this one. But LABU was the one that you said, my dude, right? So perfect. Joe H, math, my favorite word. What is good, Joe H? Good to see you here, man. And I actually want to talk to you about that the sequence that you were looking at earlier, man, because that could be a pretty refinable strategy, right, man? So I think if you have it under control, then all good. More power to you, my friend. But I definitely, you can. I'm sure that you're able to spot talent when you see it, right? So. Of course, man, I'm just looking out after you. I'm looking out for you in that sense, right? So I just want you to know that I love the way that you look at the markets. I love the way that you look at data, right? So Joe H, my hat's off to you, my dude. Thank you so much for coming by. Really appreciate you. So now let's see, what else is the chat saying? So T Wood, JDXL, not a problem. So T Wood saying, Arca, watch both COSM and GTII. Did not see if what a possible entry for GTII tomorrow is a YOLO entry. So I say that I was going to pull back just a little bit in the very beginning, and yes, Stick Vicious putting it out there, guys. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just an entertainer here, expressing my views in the markets, okay? So, and also expressing what the stats say, mathematical probabilities, you guys. So Mark Roach saying, I'm great with math. 1 + 1 = 2. That is exactly what I say, Mark Roach. I am not going to tell you 3 if 1 + 1 = 2. All right, so Lil AR15 saying, if we can focus on SPY puts, you can bank. My goodness, I'm not going to lie. Actually, when I looked at the NDX, it looks like there was a little bit of, first of all, this is one huge indecision doji, right? An indecision candle. So there could be a downside coming in to either reload or to revert to the mean before a continuation, right? But there could be some potential weakness coming in, but we'll go ahead and take a look at that, right? But Candace Morrison, good to see you here. Arca, what do you think about most of California being underwater right now? I guess good thing we're okay. Well, what do I think about a particular state being entirely underwater? Are you referencing the banks? Oh my goodness, talking crap about the Cali people. Yes, California being a little in a precarious situation, right, Candace? It's all good. We got to do our best. It's a little difficult for me to express these types of opinions and say it out loud, right? Because sometimes I may be a little too honest about things, and I don't want to create any fear or any I don't want to make you feel just too good or just really bad. Is what I'm trying to say, right? So I think it may be safe for me to try to kind of keep to myself with a lot of those honest opinions, right? Mark Roach saying 2023 robbing a bank. Now you just buy the bank. That is very true, man. Actually, if we can all just get together and put down $30, we could all probably just buy a bank all together and just split it all halfway. Let's go. Oh my goodness. So Candace Morrison saying, I live right near you, Arca. You live near the Palmdale area here, west. Let's see. I'm sorry. That's a little bit up north of Los Angeles, right? So Hound saying California is a huge state. Recent flooding near rivers, but the vast majority of the population aren't affected. Yeah. So I'm like, for example, here in Palmdale, right? We're way up. We're way up in the hills, right? So at least in Palmdale, right? So I don't think it's going to get to me whatsoever. In fact, when you step out into the main highway from my house, you can actually see down into the city of Palmdale, right? So we're quite high up. And I mean, I know, are you talking about the Montebello thing and the, right, yeah, Montclair? I forgot where Little Rock, California. Oh, yeah. That's not too far. That's like a 45-minute drive, maybe. Yeah, I was talking to Cal L about that, actually. I was like, guys, there's an enormous amount of snow here just a few weeks back, right? And now we're talking about tornadoes in LA. All right. That sucks. Right? So yeah, like I said, I don't want to express any fear or I don't want to make you feel good either. I've never seen this happen before. So, I mean, you guys know how that happens, right? When you have that humid cold, you have that humid cold front versus the warm air. So when they collide, it creates this this spin, right? This turbine, and that's exactly what happened down there in Montclair or Montebello, wherever that was. Huge tornado, right? Destroying a lot of houses and stuff. So I've never seen anything like that here in LA. So I don't know. But yeah, black swans are happening everywhere, Joe H. Even the climate here in LA, right? So I think it's safe to say that that's a very huge rarity, and I'm not sure that it can happen or continue happening, right? But it's all good, you know. We just have to be safe out here. And Candace, are you getting any? Are you getting obliterated with water or what? Yeah, seriously, Stick Vicious saying day after tomorrow. Straight up, we're gonna see Jake Gyllenhaal rolling through over here with that girl. Save me, bro, save me. All right, man. So, and if he does come by, make sure to follow him, because you remember what happened to the rest of the people who ended up leaving the library, right? Speaking of worrying. But yeah, guys, we're not here to talk about the weather. We are definitely here to talk about what is good in the markets. So, Thanos, what is good? I'm happy to see you here, man. Yeah, it did, Beso Emi. It really did look bad, right? So, my prayers go out to all those businesses, to all the people out there. So, I hope that you are not in that area, right? So, as I will express my deepest thoughts and prayers to you, okay? So, I'm not sure how many people got hurt or nothing. I just got scared and didn't look. Sometimes you know how that can go. I'm over here just worrying about my kids. I don't want them to be exposed to any freaking tornado out here in LA. TENX. Well, Beso Amy, if I can express a quick little note to you. No, I don't think it's dead, but it is however following the play that we were talking about earlier on, right? And I'm talking about a very short-term time frame. Broadening, I think it was a broadening ascending wedge, or I forgot what it was, right? So there is a sense of a retracement happening right now, and it has to happen, right? Because, and I'm not going to be honest with you, it could be the result of us touching back down to about 47 cents. If we do touch that 47 cent, you have a range between 45 and 47 cents, because that is a very, very confluent target, okay, for us to actually find a pretty good bounce out of. All right, so we wanna just keep a close eye on this, but there is a falling wedge forming right now. I mean, it could be a bullish triangle, it could be a symmetrical triangle as well, right? But there is a sign of a support being touched down here at about, again, just remember that resistance, that support level. Okay, 45 to about 47.59 could be that area to look out for a bounce. All right, you guys. So the Rio Conquer saying, bro, you are the man. No, 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 my good sir. You are the man. Thank you. Thank you so much for coming by. Samantha H saying, hi, baby Arca. I can hear him. He is definitely right outside of the door in the studio, wondering why daddy is inside of these doors with a locked door. Right? He's like, why can't I open this door? So he's, guys, if you're not familiar, my toddler, he's 3 years old. He is right outside screaming for me to open the door, right? Even though mom is playing with him. It's all good, though. It's all good. He will actually have dad back pretty soon, okay? So I appreciate you, Samantha H, for saying hello to my dude right here, right? I love that little guy out there, man. But my daughter and my wife are taking care of him pretty good. Absolutely, my little angel. So I'm just going to take a quick sip of water, guys, and we're going to get this analysis started with the broader markets. We're going to be looking at the SPY and the NDX. Okay, so if you can't see the titles at the top, here they are. Okay, we're going to look at the SPY, NDX. We have SMX, we have CISO, we have TRKA, XELA, we have TTOO, MINM, PXMD, CEOS, TENX, we have GME, Boyle, and LABU. Okay, you guys, so definitely consider sticking around for these tickers as we will be evaluating them together. And I also tend to answer the questions as best as I could. I do pay attention to the chat as much as I can, right? But again, if you guys feel like you need to get in closer touch with me, consider sending me an email or, you know, DMing me on Twitter or something, right? I tend to reply. It's just sometimes it gets a little difficult, right? As these inboxes are getting more and more full, right? So let me get a sip of water here, guys, and we'll get this thing started, man. All right. So we are back and ready for the action. So go ahead. Let's go ahead and tune in now. Okay, we're gonna start off this analysis with the SPY. And I just want to make sure that I am taking down the times here for later, right? So good deal. All right, so in reference to the SPY, just like we talked about, guys, we were very, very likely to find a resistance from the top side of our broadening descending wedge, and we did get that, okay? In fact, we actually touched it twice. And you were looking at the daily chart here. This is usually the time frames that I tend to focus on, the daily and the 12-hour and the 8-hour, actually. They're very special time frames for me. Okay, it doesn't have to be for you. I don't like to have a heart attack every single time I look at the damn chart, right? So let's go ahead and continue on the analysis. Okay, first of all, oh man, I hate my stochastic momentum. It's not set to my defaults. There we go. Okay, so I want you to notice that we still have an upside continuation suggestion from volatility versus momentum, especially the fact that we are within the critical volatile zone. This is the critical contraction zone beneath the 15%. Dame Time, what is up, my dude? Good to see you here. All right, so really, DeMarcus, I felt like this one was a little easier on my eye. Man, my eyes were dying trying to focus on the black, because I was starting to see candles that were green and red where they weren't. So I may actually retrace back to it, but it's just for now, let me cure my eyes. All right, as this kind of shined a new light for me. But wow, you guys, I'm sorry about that. Really sorry about that. I will go ahead and see these resistance levels. They were actually for the previous color, right? So not everything is going to reflect that. If you're going to see the actual colors to how my resistance and supports levels are displayed, it would be better for you to see like the GTII and the COSM video, as that's how I intend it to be. It's supposed to be more of a gray scale, not so vibrant. And I usually keep things vibrant and dark, right? But like I said, you guys, I have to try and repair my eyes in some way. I needed a change of something. All right, so yes, I do. Oh yeah, I use glasses that block Blu-ray, the Blu-ray rays or whatever that is. Blu-ray light or blue light, whatever that is. Okay, guys, so yes, we still have an upside suggestion from a stochastic momentum and from the RSI. Okay, so this is still looking good. It's not bad whatsoever. I just want you to know that we are in a critical resistance right now. So in order for us to gauge that bias for the direction, then let's just refer to the immediate short-term time frames. Okay, so we can already see here that in the 30-minute RSI, we do have a downside suggestion almost coming in right away. Okay, you guys. So now go ahead and notice that the bi-hourly time frame is also suggesting a downside. Okay, so it's absolutely normal. It's no problem at all. Okay, so 6-hour time frame is suggesting an upside, but a very limited upside. We are in the bullish control zone right now, and we have the we're very close to the bullish control zone, and we are in the gravitational zone getting to that. But we also have the 14-day simple moving average located right above us. Okay, so that's gonna essentially tell us that we have, let's see, we have the potential to come back up to about, I would say the top side of about 395.56 before a retracement. And yeah, I definitely will, Candace. I will absolutely take care of them. I needed less, right? So right now you see a lot. It's just because of the last times that we've been evaluating this. But COSM is really the way that you should be looking at these charts, just like this, right? So I'm really keeping things super simple, or like GTII, right? So really just red, black, and and clear, right? And very minimal colors. But it's all good, you guys. I just need less for now. I feel like I'm getting cluttered with a bunch of I'm overstimulated, and I need that not to play into my emotions. So I can sit here all day and explain to you why, right? But it's all good. Yeah, so we're going to be looking at TRKA and CISO. Look right up here, you guys, in the tabs. This is the schedule right up here. So the downside, guys, can be followed by the 395.52 touch. Okay, so if you are looking for the position short, or you're looking to get long some puts, you can, in respects to the 6-hour time frame, then yeah, the top side of about 395.60 could be a pretty good loading zone. Okay, so now let's see what else we have. I want to look at the 8-hour too, just in case. So 8 hours looking like it's starting to cross below that 14-day simple. So let's validate that with a 12-hour. Okay, so the 8-hour may be finding a support at this point. Okay, first of all, we do have to notice that we are in the gravitational zone and the 14-day simple moving average. This could potentially be a half a day, a downside, before a recovery to the upside. Okay, so 395.52 followed by a continuation to the downside, and it's not going to live out too long, you guys. I really do think it could be at the lower end of about $390 before it actually continues onwards and upwards. So in this case, you might just be able to scalp some options, and it wouldn't be like I wouldn't consider holding the options for long, because the SPY is actually trying to break out of this broadening descending wedge. So if that is the case, then we could very well be just trying to kind of consolidate here, trade within a chop box, and then succeed the outside. So be careful with that, okay, you guys. So now in respects to the NDX, which would essentially play into a huge amount of it's going to play a huge role into the price action of a lot of assets here. So this is looking bullish still, okay, but it's looking like it wants to consolidate for a little bit. Why? Because this is the daily time frame RSI, and it looks like we're already consolidating, right? So we're in this zone here. So if I can give you the chop box area in respects to the daily, it may not be the whole time, right? But I would express some immediate concern that we would just be trading within this area, so maybe not get overly bullish on this. Okay, so Aiden Davis, what is up, man? Thank you for coming by. But yeah, we're just looking at the broader markets, man. So let's dive in and see what's up. So another thing that I'm saying to not get, another reason to not get overly bullish is because of this. Notice that the stochastic momentum is already starting to show some weakness here from an overbought percentile, and notice that we are starting to expand from a critical contractive percentile. Okay, so if that is the case, then we can potentially see a target by pulling up the reversion variant indicator. Okay, so if it is finding that kind of weakness, you guys, we could potentially be facing, first of all, the resistance from the Bollinger Bands right in these blue lines, right? We're at that resistance right now. We're definitely succeeding it. And if that's the case, then we could face a reversion to about 12,245 in the daily time frame. Okay, so that may not be the overall case, but if it does happen, it would just be another higher low before a continuation onto the upside. And please notice that I already had my support down here for it. Okay, you guys, so it would just be another higher low, series of higher highs. It's a bullish structure overall. We may see a little weakness because it's just part of the natural ebb and flow, right? So everything is looking good thus far. Okay, so watch out with the broader markets. Okay, you guys, there could be some downside. Okay, so if the downside does play on the NDX, very likely the S&P 500 and the SPY can actually influence each other, I'm saying. Okay, so careful with those. All right, you guys. So now let's go ahead and finish off the tickers for SPY and NDX, right, and move on to the next one. We're going to be looking at ticker symbol SMX. Okay, you guys, and this is actually per a request for our moderator, Mark Roach. And let's see what we got. Okay, first of all, we're looking at the daily time frame here. Already looking very good in volatility versus momentum. As you can see, we actually have momentum very much oversold. Let's make a quick little note over where we presently are sitting, right? Just like this. And let's just see historically if we have retraced from this area. So here was a massive, well, of course, right? We capitulated down here. Not exactly sure why the hell that happened. It could have been maybe an RS or something, but it's no problem. But it did happen from there. So, and it actually, in the end, we did get a small upside following it, which is why I see it. So I'm going to show you just like this, right? Here we go. Not always does the stochastic momentum get it perfect, right? It has a hit rate of about 60. I'm saying in a bell curve statistics, I'm talking about the 68% of probabilities in the center with the outsides looking for the higher end of the probabilities to the lower end of the probabilities. You are looking at 67% at the lower end of the standard, the first standard deviation, and at about a 91% in accuracy in the upper end of the first standard deviation. Is statistically speaking, I'm talking about the stochastic momentum accuracy. Okay, so not always will it get it right, but it's good enough to consider the probabilities for plays, right? So it looks like we did get critical volatility, you know, when capitulating like this, and we did get an upside right after it. So this is in respects to a fully expanded level to a contraction, followed by an upside. So that's currently where we're sitting right now, just like it did here. So the movements actually started coming down like this. Stochastic momentum started lifting, and we got a huge upside. Okay, so now how far did that upside go? I know it's just one iteration, but it's good to just kind of take into account. So this was about man, in respect to the price action, is really crappy, right? So actually, no, I'm sorry, this iteration actually continues because it stayed in critical contraction forever until about, yeah, it's still in it. Oh my goodness. Okay, so no way. Yeah, it could have been to about right here. Okay, so that did take a long time to kind of to repair. But if we're looking at an upside, this was just a 5% upside. So now let's see if there could be any other situation to where we can gauge a potential upside from that, right? So man, price action is just really weird here, right? But it looks like here's another one right down here. Yeah, so this is another situation here. Let's see, that could be a potential, let's see, 23% move based on this. Okay, so that we could actually face some pretty nice upside based on the current position that we're sitting on, right? So we'll validate everything in the shorter time frames as well. Now, as we start to actually zoom in to the stochastic momentum, you can see that we're actually getting that pivot to the upside right now. It's not to say that it can't fail, because notice here, right, we had that pivot to the upside and then we failed and then made it up. So huge fake out before a continuation to the upside. we do have to look at metrics like that too, right? So now let me just go ahead and come back to the price action yet again and look to see what those potentials are. Okay, so already on the daily time frame, it looks like we have a limited upside, which could be in respects to the binding between these two candles here, which could be the space of about 170 to 177. That's not validated just yet. Okay, so let me pull up the averages and see if we have anything in this area here. Let's see. And we do. We have the SMA 10 located in that area. If I pull up the EMA 9 or 7, it may very well be in that area too. Let's see what we have. Okay, so no, that's volume. Where are the averages? Here they are. Okay. So, yeah, and let me make them just a little bit brighter. So EMA 7, EMA 9, there we go. So there's essentially the touch that we're looking at. From the 7-day exponential moving average, very likely could find some resistance there, followed by a test to our current lows, and then a continuation to the upside. Let's validate. Okay, so 30-minute immediate short-term time frame, suggesting a little bit of support from the 14-day simple moving average. We are in the gravitational zone, and upside could be in the cards there. Okay, so short-term downside validation here on the bi-hourly. So that's telling us that the 30-minute may actually fail just a little bit here before a continuation onto the upside. And the bi-hourly gives us, because we have the 4-hour, the 14-day simple moving average right down here, right? So you notice how my information is starting to kind of like diminish here. I don't have a lot of information because of what happened to the price action. So my edge may be very slight here, okay? Now in the 6-hour, I don't have any moving average. I'm sorry, yeah, I actually don't have any moving average. I only have the signal, and neither on the 4-hour I don't have it either. So again, I'm very limited here. So now in respects to stochastic momentum versus volatility, it's showing that we could have already retraced to the mean. And if we are at the mean right now, it would be in respects to all of those moving averages being right above us as resistance. It's not to say that we can't beat through it. I'm just saying that there is a lot of resistance, and we could very likely just fail it again, just like this, right? We went up and we came back down. So now we have to actually just look at this with raw price action. And I mean, it's just such little information right here, right? And especially in the shorter time frames, it's not credible at all. We're having a huge contraction here from all of the moving averages, which could be indicative of a breakout. But another reason why that actually could fake out or create a bull trap per se. I don't like to say bull trap in such a short-term time frame, but I want you to notice the trend. The trend is on a decline. So if we are going to build a type of triangle of sorts here, then it would be a symmetrical triangle, which, if you remember, they play both to the upside and the downside, but they turn bearish when they're after a downside. The thing is that we bottomed and then came up. So this could also be considered a pennant. So if we do have a pennant here, then our short-term time frame upside can be figured by taking a trend line from the top side of the triangle to the lower end of the triangle and applying it to that supposed area of breakout, which could be in the following candle, right? So looking at 176, and why does that sound familiar to you? Well, because on the daily time frame, we looked at the space of about 170 to 177 as that area of resistance, right where the EMA 7 is located. So confluence is that essential part to look at for a potential drawback or a pullback. Okay, so I do not think that this is ready for a continuation to the upside. I do think that there is further downside and or a validation of floor still to be looked at for this ticker, but don't take my word for it. I'm just looking at confluence here. I'm just looking at the probabilities. Okay, so if it does happen, it happens. If it doesn't, then I messed up. But I apologize ahead of time, but I'm already seeing that the 170, 177 is the top side before a rejection, and then coming back in to chop around the zone of about 124 to about 95 cents. Okay, this would be a consolidation area. And that's just, remember, only with raw price action, because I don't have indicators for any time frame here, as the price action just kind of did what it did. Right, so let's go ahead and finish off this ticker now, you guys, and move on to the next one. So that is it for SMX, right? So I ended at 918. Okay, so now let's go ahead and move on to the next one, guys. That's going to be ticker symbol CS or CI, sorry, SO. And I have not looked at this ticker before, but it has been requested. So if we're looking at this, potential right now, I'm talking about the price action, right? So the price action is looking like it's starting to kind of accumulate, right? So if it's accumulating like this or expanding like this from a tight area, you see how it's like it comes down like this, it goes up, then it goes down a little more, then it comes up a little more, then it goes down further, up further, then down further, and then it just continues this. That's usually how you can find a broadening descending wedge. And since we are in the daily, we could potentially be testing this in a shorter time frame. So let's look at the 8 hour and see how it's looking. Okay, so maybe the 8 hour looks like how it looks. Yeah, it could be the 8 hour where we're trading this, right? So let's get rid of our indicators for now and take a look at this formation, right? So I'm thinking that it could be taken from this perspective here. So let's just see. All right, so yeah, very likely could be something like this. Let me make a solid line instead and then continue on here, right? So let's see. Could it be actually here? Let me see. Yeah, very likely there. Okay, so that means that this one could be corrected ever so slightly and then pushed up just a little bit. Okay. So yeah, I'm really thinking that it could be around here-ish, right? So this formation, just like any of the other formations, not any of the other, I'm saying, this formation, like a few other formations, has a price objective. Okay, so that price objective is usually or typically found at the genesis of the formation itself. So this could be suggesting a top side of about, yeah, I'd say about right here, about 170, right? So we can go ahead and just make that 170 touch, just like this. Hold on, sorry, just a sec. Let me just write something in my notes here because I'm already messing up for the later on. All right, so yes, very likely we're in this formation here. So now let's start counting our resistance touches. So we have test number 1 here, test number 2, 3 followed by capitulation. We have the reaccumulation period here, huge bear trap. And then the upside for test number 4, failure, and now we're getting ready for test number 5. Okay, so remember, test number 4 and number 5 are valid. So in this case, very slow moving, and the volume looks to actually be picking up just a little bit, right? But let's see what this, I'm curious about the cap in this thing in the first place. So the cap is at about 50 million and 59.7 million on the float. So it is kind of a high risk asset. It looks like it's not really moving as fast as it could, right? So the average volume is about 14 million in a 10-day period. So it could move harder, right? Just like this iteration here. So, but everything is still within the hundreds of thousands. This particular candle has a 1.39 million in shares traded. So that's pretty good. But this large one here, 177, this was highly manipulated and created a huge bull trap. And use the bulls actually as liquidity here. Okay, so now let's validate if we can actually make the upside of the 5th test and realize that true breakout. So let's see. Test Mr. Levitt saying test 5 looks like it may. Oh, right. if it actually could do that, right, from maybe in a shorter time frame, in a 4 hours, something that we can find with a resistance here, then it'll create this thing, right? Yeah, possible. But you know I don't like that formation in general. But even still, guys, let's validate this now. Okay, so volatility versus momentum. Let's see what it's looking like on the daily first of all. Okay, so the daily already fired off the signal for an upside continuation. And when did that fire exactly? It's very curious that it would fire. Okay, so it fired it, man. It fired it on the 21st, and we're on the 23rd right now, right? So, and it's suggesting a continuation to the upside right now. So let me look at the buy daily. The buy daily is suggesting an upside too, critical volatility on top as well. Nice. And there is, let's see, an upside barely starting, an upside pivot here on the 3-day and critical volatility as well. So already multiple time frames suggesting upside. Now, The 5-day time frame, of course, has not yet reflected that, right? Because it actually had a huge downside here. So the validator for this very nice printed, I mean, this body could have been a little bit lower to create an inverted hammer after a downtrend, right? So it's still, however, considered to be a hammer. This would be the validation candle, and we're 5 days and 16 hours away, so an eternity away from closing this. This candle just closed today, and it just printed, and this is the reason why we flat bottomed here in oversold, and we're at critical volatility. So the 5-day may actually be waiting for the influence from the shorter time frames. It's all good. It's no problem. It's just I'm just trying to see what we have as a setup. Let's see, downside on the stochastics, but it actually looks like a consolidation period. Consolidation period with critical volatility as well on the 8-hour. Okay. Consolidation period, volatility versus momentum is all consolidating. Oh, look at this. We're still consolidating too on the RSI. Like I said, it's still a bit of a slow mover here, right? But the upside is more relevant than not, I guess. It feels like it's just kind of too slow, right? But the setups are almost there. And I guess what I'm trying to say is that it's more than likely the floor has been found. And that floor could have been at about 30.19. This is going to start a trek to the upside, and it'll probably explode to the upside out of nowhere within the next couple days, or maybe even few days, right? So I honestly think it's okay. It's not a bad play, and it is suggesting a psychological breakout over here. Okay, so if we are starting to mean revert on the daily, let's see, and the bi-daily. So yeah, so let me look at the daily reversion variant to see where that target could be to the upside. So 48 cents would be that target, and let's see if that rhymes with anything in the fibs. So we'll take it like this and like that, and 48 cents seems to be right upside of the 3.272, or right at it. Okay, so that's definitely good. It's definitely a good signal. It is confluent. All right, so in the fact that it actually started reverting from the downside, from the bottom side of the Bollinger Bands and resisted from the mean, we're trying to actually, this is what it's telling me, is that it's trying to knock at the door to succeed the mean and then beat it and then come back and use it as a form of support before a continuation onto the upside. And another thing that rhymes with that is the formation itself. It's trying to beat it so it can come back and validate it before a continuation onto the upside. So the reversion variant on the daily, let me go back to it because let's see. So 48 cents is that reversion. Okay, so now let me look at the 5-day reversion variant. Why the 5-day? Because this is where that candle is printed. And I'm telling you that this is the upside probability. Notice where the mean is. Notice where the take profit for the formation is. Very, very highly confluent. Okay, so I just wanted to show you guys a little bit of a strategy as to how that can be kind of figured, right? So, yeah, we're in a macro scale reversion play, but this is it's going to take some time. It's going to take days and days for it to actually realize. But I see the upside on this no matter what. My calculations are within those numbers. Joe H., thank you so much, my dude. I definitely believe it, and I know you have a very manual way to look at that, of which I actually want to learn myself from you. So, yeah, so you guys, I think there is a high probability for an upside here, but it's going to take some time. It's a little bit of a slow mover. But let's go ahead and just finish off this. I just searched against it. It said 27th. The 27th. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not even sure what you're referring to. But yeah, let's finish this off, guys. Let's rate the ticker now, okay? So definitely upside to be faced, but it's going to be very slow, right? So daily reversion variant suggesting about 48 cents, which would essentially take us to the upside of about 54 cents to beat the broadening descending wedge. So let's rate this, guys. Chat, dive in. D- being your max loss, D+ being your break even. Let's rate it from D- to A+. What are we rating this? So already we're getting in some, let's see. So Mr. Levitt's giving this a D+. Sebastian Lim giving this a B-. Joe H giving this a solid C, and Mark Roach giving this a solid C. So very impressive ratings here, you guys. So in my personal opinion, JDXL giving this a C-. Very cool, very cool. All right, cool. So remember, guys, this is just my personal opinion. It doesn't have to be yours. Dame Time giving it also a C minus, right? So, in my personal opinion, G Marcus Cousins with a B minus. I'm gonna wait just so that everybody can rate it, right? So, did we forget to rate SMX? Damn it! Let's go back. We're gonna rate it. I'm gonna remind everybody what that was. So, long rating here for this one. Arca gonna say F. No, for this particular ticker, it takes a different type of trader. Nia saying A. So, this is a solid C. Okay, so I'm sorry, I just misspelled that a little bit there. So long rating, in my personal opinion, guys, this is it takes a different type of trader to trade an asset that moves like this, right? So in my personal opinion, I would not hold an asset like this overnight. It's just a little too speculative, right? And the cool thing here is the little bullish engulfing right here. So everything is leading to the upside. It's just slow as hell. Okay, so in my personal opinion, I'm going to give this a C, right? And this is a broader opinion, not so close to me myself. So I think it's fair to give this a C because there is upside and there is sometimes volatility that can actually follow some psychological supports. So it's all good. It's no problem, whatever. It's no problem whatsoever, right? So now remember guys, regarding this ticker, SMX, chat, I'm talking directly to you because we need to rate this, okay? So remember I said that we're facing a very confluent target in several time frames here that has the EMA 7 located between the area of about if I remember correctly, 170 to 177 resistance at that EMA 7, followed by a pullback to the chop zone of about 95 cents to the top side of about 131, maybe even 150. Okay, so that could be a chop area for this to validate something. And it looks like it could be ready for making an explosive move to the upside, but yet again, this is kind of a slow mover too, right? So the cap on this, if you are curious, right, 29 million on that cap, 11 million on that float, a little bit of a risky play right here, right? So the average volume in 10 days is 2.75 million. Okay, so it's very slow, right? So there is upside to look at this, but it's very likely going to consolidate first before an upside. So let's see. Here we go. So JDXL giving SMX a D. Mark Roach giving this SMX C plus. Joe H giving this a C minus for the longs. Money giving this SMX ticker a B. Mr. Levitz with a C. Daniel Gonzalez with a C minus. So I am honestly, I'm gonna give this to you guys the way I see it, okay? Because remember, again, it's particular to the trader who is willing to wait for this. There could be some fundamental metric that could, literally send this thing to the moon. And it is primed for that, right? So it's just not suggesting the move immediately. Okay, so Sebastian Lim giving this a C minus at best, probably a D. Basil Amy giving this a C minus. I'm in enough slow cars, my goodness. All right, so in my personal opinion, guys, this will also have to just be a solid C for me. Okay, because it does require kind of a patient trader. And again, I will not hold an asset like this overnight. So the only assets that I will hold overnight is if the market cap if we had a market cap of about 500 million to a billion, and the float was at a minimum 180 million to about 250 million, preferably 500 million. So that's the small cap area. I think that would be a good overnight hold. But in these particular tickers, I wouldn't personally, but it is doable. Okay, but again, I think the floor is in. All right, you guys. So very, very cool stuff. Now we have two ratings right now, both of which are coming in with a C, right? So I'm actually going to also note that we rated this later. It doesn't matter. I'm just going to put it in there that it got rated at a C. Right? Oh, that's right. And CISO was also a long rating of a C. So let's just go ahead and keep those in mind because I'll add them to the timestamps afterward, right? So everything is looking very, very good, you guys. So let me see. I noticed that Cal was actually typing a bunch earlier. I'm not sure if he was talking to me. Oh, so he was talking to Aiden. Good deal, good deal. All right, guys. So let's go ahead and move on to the next ticker. And that next ticker is going to be ticker symbol TRKA. I know a lot of people have been looking at that because it's been kind of falling, right? So Well, let's just see what the potentials are for this. Okay, so if you are curious about this, I did mention this before, that the probability could be there, right? So volatility versus momentum is still suggesting some downside. So this could actually be the support level that we are at right now is an inflection zone. Okay, so what's up, Cal? So I want you to know that the current price action is just about, let me see, I'm going to put it right here. Oh my goodness. 1785 is the current price action. The inflection zone is located at 1764. Actually, just a little bit lower, maybe to this candle here, right? So, and this candle right over here. So that inflection point is essentially flagging some short positions, okay? And this is why. So upon the failure of this key support, failing this would actually take it down to about, I would say, I'm going to speak to you in a short bias here, okay? Because I'm ambidextrous like that. I can short and long, okay? So very likely to touch down to 1465 tomorrow, followed by an upside to test this inflection point as a resistance at 1751. If you are short, if you are suggesting or trying to see the downside for a gainer, then your entry target could be anywhere between 1751 to about 1958. This is your resistance zone and the opening area for a downside. Okay, so my extended hours are, they shouldn't be actually. Let's see. Thank you for pointing that out, by the way. I'll make sure to have them on, right? So appearance, where the hell are the extended hours again, you guys? Was that symbol? Extended, where the hell is it? The extended hours should be on. You've got my attention. Yeah, Joe H, I got you, bro. I'm speaking directly to you. You know when I am. So yeah, guys, help me out here. Is it under trading? Where the hell are the extended hours? Probably because she's on a daily. Yeah, well, yeah, the daily time frame doesn't show the extended hours, right? So pre and post market is on. So I wonder if I can actually just go to the 12-hour and it'll give me the option to see that there. So yeah, so 12-hour extended trading hours are on. So the daily doesn't show you that because the daily doesn't have after hours, right? So yeah, Kal-El just said it. So it's just it's in respects to the 12-hour and below. Daily is to the market closure. So 12 hours, we are still at that current support, right? So I'm just telling you that this is it's there. So I mean, you're talking about under a cent. All right, so still pertinent to the same data that we're looking at. Okay, so close at 21. 21. Okay, so 21 is this resistance here. Okay, so if we are able to, if we're able to maintain that, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and draw you the 21 cent resistance level. Okay, so hold on just a sec, as I will gather it here for you. Top side 21.79. Actually, let me just make it a little bit tighter here. There we go. It is 21.57 is the resistance. So you are, if that is the case, you're still very much at a resistance zone right now, all within this area here. Okay, so this again, it's still valid what we're talking about. Good. I'm happy that you guys pointed that out. All right, so here's the next thing you got to remember. We touched on this a while back. This is a broadening ascending wedge, okay? So, and this does have a downside to it, right? So this was the breakout out of it. This was the test, just like we talked about before, right? Come back to the confluent area for validation, resistance validation. We come back down to the next wave, which is this wave here. Then we come back up and test this wave high. Then we continue on, right? So this actually has a few areas to come in and out as a momentum trader, okay? So you're looking at a potential drop here to the next zone. So pretty much right now, this is entry right now for the short. So you're looking at about 1953 to 2157 top side. Even a wick to the upside could be found, right? Even at about 2371. At the very best case scenario, 2371. So if you are long this, consider removing some risk around this area, right? So 2371 could be your best case scenario. Very likely within this area, you can find a huge amount of resistance before a continuation to the downside. Shorts open up within this zone here. They take it down to the, let's see, I think it could be, I will give it to you right now. Actually, let me load some fibs. The raw price action is all good and everything. I just need more, right? So I need more information. Here we go. All right, so I'm looking at this target here. And yeah, look at my cursor to the right, 2.618, 1254, very confluent. So this is very likely the next target before shorts cover this position, test the current inflection point as resistance, reopen, and then take this down to the bottom side of about, I would say, 1047 to 984 at the 3.618 at the genesis of the formation. So this is a short play, okay? And it's been a short play since I think this fake out here. So this was the bull trap here. We thought we were going to be able to gain re-entry here, huge stop outs. And then that downside continues. So this is going to zigzag, zigzag, zigzag until it eventually reaches that target I'm telling you about. 1047 to about 984 is the short take profit. And this can be scalped and momentum traded all day. So be very careful, guys. I'm telling you that this is your opportunity here to kind of maybe consider removing risk if you are long this ticker. Okay, so let's go ahead and not rate this one. For the TRKA asset in respects to my beginner long traders, right? So keep an eye out for that, okay? Lost 200 on that stupid fake out. Aiden Davis, man, a lot of people. I actually got stopped out with a 4% on that too. It's no problem. It's just there were so many signals that were suggesting a potential bear trap, and the bears actually did take control. So this is Joe H plus. Moderator Cal. So that is going to do it for ticker symbol TRKA, and I'm going to go ahead and put down on my notes that we are not rating this. But Joe, if you need to touch down on the specifics of this play, go ahead and reach out to me in the Discord or wherever, even on email or something, dude, and we can go over the play together too, my bro. Okay, so let's go and move on to that next ticker, guys, and that's going to be ticker symbol XELA. And that's man, that ticker has been faking people out like crazy. The cat continues to bounce, right? Yep, there's a huge dead cat bounce. Very, very typical for an ascending broadening wedge. I must admit though. And I've traded this formation several times too. It's just not always do they play out, but they tend to play out when you're in a higher term time frame here. So. Yeah, we can't rate this, and this is I don't even have to look at the RSI or anything to tell you that there could be a very large continuation to the way down. So Joe H saying XELA is my bread and butter for months. Yeah, XELA has been faking out the bulls left and right. Oh man, so I did call this bottom though. Back in November, I did say that this could be highly likely a bottom before we face an upside, and I did talk about these upsides too, right? But still, man, this is a very, very dangerous ticker to trade. And if we're looking at this on the daily time frame, there is still downside to be suggested here, meaning that it still can oversell. Okay, so and now here we're in the gravitational zone of the bear strength percentile, suggesting a continuation to that downside for ticker symbol XELA. Okay, so if there is a limited downside here, historically speaking, let's see, it looks like the average area to kind of retrace from would be around 1.84%, and we are currently sitting at, let's see, let's bring this into higher visibility like this, right? And we are currently sitting at about 6%. So definitely still downside to be looked at for XELA, okay? And I think it's actually a pretty good thing that it is doing a downside, and I'll share why, okay? Because there is the potential to where this is building a very large falling wedge, okay? So that's actually a bullish formation. And if we already have the price objective from this point here to this point here, then we could only speculate, right, as to where that potential touch can be. So let's just take a trend line. Like, actually, we may have to take a trend line from the other candle, which is actually this one here, right? Sometimes these are psychologically impaired candles, and we don't want to take those into consideration. So we would take into consideration the more natural candles, right? So in this case, it could actually be this, as I do have two very confluent contact points already. So let's see. Let's keep on validating this and see what we have. Okay, so if we are, let me see on another time frame and see if I can actually get this to look a little tighter, even still. Let me see on the 6 hour. It could be the 6 hour or even the 4 hour. Both, it's going to be between both of those. So yeah, let me favor the 6 hour. It looks like it's this. Let me see from this. It could actually be here. So if we are facing that support, this is a huge formation. Which I mean, it could be a high potential that we are finding a floor soonish. Let me see, guys. Sorry about that. Let me just make sure that I can kind of get this tight for you guys, right? So, could it be the hourly? My goodness. And oh, the hourly kind of exposes a different outlook. So, yeah, the formations, guys, sometimes I can't see it right away, right? So we have to just kind of test the boundaries here. And the hourly is kind of suggesting for us to maybe even fail it, but that may not be it. That may not be the whole case here. Okay, so this is looking a little better right here, right? So the falling wedge could be at a close or ending, let's see, by about 70% could be around here. So I would say the 30th of March, Thursday. So maybe another week of downside for this or choppy price action. I mean, it's just going to literally kind of just do this up and down movement all the way down here, right? But we want to validate that too. So I knew that we were going to have an upside here on the hourly, right? The immediate short-term time frame is suggesting an upside because we are essentially trying to reclaim the inside of this channel on the hourly, and this is the candle that you're looking at right here, this tiny little birth. Right, so this is the birth of a candle. This is what it looks like right here, right? So the way you're going to be able to tell as to which color it's going to turn into is based on the direction that it actually favors, right? So this is how a candle starts. If the candle goes to the downside first, then it's going to turn red, and or if the candle goes to the upside first, then it's going to turn green. So if it retraces from the green, then it'll come back down and leave the wick up to how high it went. And inversely as well. Okay, so that just so you know that's actually going to be coming up for the ArcMasters course coming up on Sunday. So that's essentially some of the things that we're going to be learning on that on Sunday. Okay, you guys. So yeah, so we have an immediate upside suggestion on the hourly. So 4 hours should probably be the same thing. Here we go. 4 hours suggesting a limited upside. So now we could probably load up just some averages and see what that potential could be. If you are long the sticker, this could be your opportunity to maybe remove some of that risk, right? So then you could possibly consider another ticker or gain entry somewhere, within the 70% to an upside probability, right? So the 4 hour actually looks not bad within this triangle. So we may actually have to favor it like this. It's looking pretty good. Okay, yeah, this is pretty good. So yeah, upside, very likely to face rejection from the top side of the triangle and the SMA 10 confluence. So 416 could be 416 to about 428, sorry. 416 to about 428 could be that area for a removal of risk. And then this thing could come back down and do that sideways thing that we were talking about. Yeah, I mean, we still have that resistance here from the 14-day simple moving average on the 4 hour too. So the 8 hour, let's see what it's got for us. So the 8 hour, it's actually in the gravitational zone of the bear strength percentile for a downside, right? So it's losing a little bit of bull strength as we move deeper and deeper into the price action. And here it is on a daily. So yeah, tomorrow is very likely for us to see an upside before it finds the rejection from the top side of the wedge, and then it'll continue to the downside based on the suggestions that we have on the daily, the bi-daily crossing the 14-day simple to the downside, and then the 3-day is essentially crossing to that downside as well. See? I mean, we can zoom in harder if you need to see for yourself. There you go. All right, so this could be a continuation to the downside even still, guys. Okay, so please be careful. I am thinking that the shorter time frames would be your saving grace in order for you to kind of pull out and try to minimize that risk, right? So I think it was in the 6 hour, 6 hour top side of about 427, guys, 428, right around there could be your resistance touch at that SMA 10 and the formation resistance. All right, so please be careful with this, okay? So short sellers, your potential here would be within this area here for entry, and it could be a very short-term scalp, okay? So you're looking at it could be a 10 to 13% gainer based on entry at around this this zone here, 428 to about 430. All right, so again, guys, in respects to my beginner traders who are trading XELA, let's go ahead and not rate this one. And Joe H, if you need to go over this one with me too, dude, we can. All right, so let's go ahead and leave this, let's see, with a no rating bias, right, for the... Sorry, guys, I just heard a noise outside my window. Not sure who the hell that is at almost 10 p.m. Not cool. All right, so that's going to do it for ticker symbol XELA. Let's move on to the next one, guys. We have TTOO, and this was actually an early ticker pick for us to kind of look at, right? So, Ian Tucker, what's up, Arca? Your backgrounds have changed. It's hard for me to make things out. Man, I keep on hearing that. I have to actually get everything else to get back to the way. It's just my eyes, guys. I really need a change here. I'm looking at this so often, right, in the live trades and in the videos that I put out. So I'm like starting to see different colors, and I'm like, man, am I really tripping or what? So then when I changed over to this profile, it actually made it a little easier for me to see. And I don't think it's gonna be permanent because I usually go back for a short amount of time into whites, and then I go back into my darks again. So it's temporary. It's just the way I kind of process things, right? So again, guys, I apologize, but I do need it to kind of repair myself. Guys, there is, I think there's somebody at my window. Can you hold on just a sec, guys? Let me go ahead and see if someone's out there trying to steal the freaking stuff from the house, man. Just give me a quick sec. Hello? Yeah, hello? I don't think anyone's there. I'm gonna open up my window a little more so I can get some more, so I can hear a little deeper. It sounded like someone was knocking at my window. What the hell? It's like freaking 10 p.m. Like, you don't hear me talking in here? Like, dude, get out of here. I have kids and my wife and stuff. Like, what the hell? Not a good thing. Short sellers waiting outside. Sebastian Lim. DeMarcus, man, I almost felt like I was for a quick sec there. I really had to step, right there to the window. I opened it up wide, like I'm not hiding from nobody. So I just wanted to see what the hell was going down. My goodness. I was about to say, Mark Roach, you out there, bro? Come in. Cal L saying, sorry, my screen was blurry. Thought I'd get a better view from your window. Good thing, man. Good thing that we actually, guys, it's just everybody's trying to get a view from my charts here, right? So yeah, the indicators and everything still has to kind of get fixed. So I'll try my best. I'm gonna see what it's like for my dark profile again, you guys, but I really have to kind of change my pace for a little bit, so then I could go back. It's just, guys, it's, my goodness, man, I need a little bit of change here and there before I can come back to my darker colors, right? It's just like I said, guys, I do this often. I go to my whites, and then, I mean, you've seen it sometimes. I know some of the OGs right here. What's up, Miss L? I know some of the OGs in here have actually noticed when I pull up an old ticker and it's an all white, and I'll say, like, sorry guys, I didn't mean to blind you. It's for a reason, guys. I do this all the time. I have to kind of I don't know. I just need to change it up for a little bit, and then I'll come back. But yeah, so now let's so now we're gonna look at ticker symbol TTOO, and this was actually in the Discord early ticker picks, right? So in the ticker picker channel. So let's go ahead and just note that we are getting this one rolling, and this is gonna be ticker symbol TTOO. All right, so let's focus in on a few things here. I want to see. Let's see here. Okay, so if I'm looking at volatility could be, yeah, see, like this right here, I'm sure that's incredibly difficult to look at, right? So there could be, let's see, a contraction phase. The contraction phase could be restarting. Could that be it? No way. And we have an upside suggestion. Okay, so this is actually coming from critical volatility, critical contraction to the upside. So this is probably trying to mean revert again. We have an upside suggestion on the daily, but what happened here? Okay, so huge bearish engulfing. So that's already giving a huge fake out signal, right? This is a bearish engulfing. And let's look at the 12-hour and see what it's got. Okay, so 12-hour is also suggesting an upside on volatility. We have the RSI could actually come back and, so could it be a floor? Is that what it is? So high potential to find a support at 46.93 to about 45.61 based on the 14-day simple moving average down here before a bounce to the upside, right? So let's keep on moving this and see. Current support being found right now at that 6-hour time frame very nicely. Let me move up instead. So 30-minute time frame is suggesting upside on both stochastics and critical volatility. So very likely going to find support at this 14-day simple moving average, which could be at the, let's see, right at about 48.42 in respects to this gap here, right? So very likely to find that support here in the immediate short term. So let's go to the buy hourly now. Upside to be a little limited. I can't use that though. So yeah, that's right. So the 4-hour is suggesting a continuation to the upside. Hold on. We're gathering these puzzle pieces together. 6-hour finding that support, giving validation to the 4-hour. Okay, good. 8-hour finding that support as well. And now the 12-hour finding the support very soon. Okay, so what this is telling me, you guys, is that we could potentially have found the floor on this, and the upper time frames are the validator of that. They're just consolidating and waiting for the short-term time frame influence. So very, very likely tomorrow we can actually face a range. I'll give you that range right now, right? So, and then I'll focus on volatility to see if there's any setup in those higher time frames. So very likely we can come back to about 47 to 48.05 tomorrow. And let's see volatility versus momentum on, yeah, we're still mean reverting. Okay, so let's pull out the reversion variant and see where we're going. We already went to the mean just like we talked about, right? And we retraced. So yeah, potential floor. Again, test at the 47 to 48.05, followed by a continuation to the upside to 56 cents. Again, it's knocking at the door of the mean. And what you're looking at here is, please go ahead and focus on the Bollinger Bands, right? So notice how they get tight before a potential move, right? So it gets tight because it contracts and then it expands, right? So it expands like this. So that can be both to the upside and to the downside. Huge expansion here, right? So go ahead and notice that after this massive downside, which created a huge expansion, we already got into a very contractive zone. And now it's looking like it's starting to expand. You can see it barely right now, right? You can see the lines actually starting to kind of do this movement here. So that's suggesting a potential something, right? So now we just need to see what it's going to favor. And luckily, we have stochastic momentum suggesting an upside. Okay, so this is essentially a mean reversion play to try to combat that 56 cent level. And we're currently sitting at, well, I know this is a higher time frame. So let's see, 49.50 is where we're sitting in. And now this is in respects to the 12-hour. We are at this support. So this is very likely for us to find that downside it's very similar to the targets we were looking at. So that's 48.58 at the bottom side of the Bollinger Bands, and the top side of this support that we're looking at was 48.05. Okay, so we can face that bounce from this area here and then continue on to that upside. So it's very likely gonna make an upside. Now let me look at the cap and see the average volume. Let's see. So it's very small. So 3.6 mil on that cap, and the float is a 6. Yeah, man, it's 6 million on that float. So I'm sorry, I didn't see the average volume, right? So the average volume is 1.18 mil on a 10-day period, man. So it's a very slow mover too. Okay, so more than likely, guys, it is at a floor, and it's trying to actually make that upside move. So the shorter time frames may actually influence the upper time frames for a pretty significant move to the upside. And if look at this right here, so this is the 3-day time frame starting to make an upside from critical expansion, right? So that can tell us that it's trying to revert or mean revert in the 3-day time frame all the way to $1.15. So this could be a massive upside, and it does have the power to do it, right? It actually does have it, and we're already getting the algorithmic long signal here. So that's not bad. We got a long signal here, and then it's sold here, right? So for a very, very minute gain. So no matter what, we are getting a first buy signal here, and I think that this is the floor. So mean reverting to about 115 could take about a couple weeks, maybe a few weeks if it is moving this slow. And the higher term timeframes are all kind of primed for that move, right? So it's just like the other ticker, guys. This is suggesting an upside, but it's gonna take some time, and very likely the floor is in. All right, so to finish off TTOO, let's go ahead and rate this ticker, guys. What is the deal? So TTOO RSI divergence on the 4-hour. So DeMarcus, if I were to be perfectly honest with you on divergence plays, I am very particular with locating divergences with a minimum 8-hour time frame. So it could be very visible, right? So you're looking at a bearish divergence, or what did you see? But I usually tend to look at them on the 8-hour minimum, as divergences are not under those timeframes. They're not as they don't have a high strike rate. But yeah, it looks like it's it looks like it could be there. For example, here, for example, here it's not confirmed yet though. So this one is one. Right here, so making this is a drive of hidden bullish divergence, right? And it is taking it from this point to right about this candle here. So yeah, it's not validated yet, and there's several. There's a lot of drives stacking for bullish divergence, but it's not ready just yet. And as soon as we can get the pivot to actually make the upside here, then we would actually validate that for a continuation. But yeah, you're right about the divergences. They're everywhere. But I would strongly suggest to look at them on the 8-hour and up, right? Because I usually tend to locate them on 8-hour, 12-hour, daily, and bi-daily. I'll even look at 3-day and 5 days because they will give a higher hit rate, right? So Joe H giving this, remember guys, D- being your max loss and D+ being your break even. Okay, so JDXL, you're sorry about that, man. Let me just go ahead and let's see. Unhide user on this channel. Sorry, I thought I was gonna be able to replace that, but JDXL giving me a B. No problem, dude. No problem. I can see it here still. Even if you block it, I'm able to see what you guys block. So Joe H giving it a C+, Mr. Levis with a C+, JDXL with a B, Mark Roach giving this a C- as well. And let's see. So I think honestly, I think it's a fair rating, guys. What you guys are rating it is definitely fair. You know what I mean? And it's dependent. It's particular to the style of the trader, right? So in my personal opinion, let's go ahead and just put it down right now. So I'm looking at a solid C again, you guys. So we're full of C's right now. Really interesting times. All right, so now that was TTOO with a long rating of a C. Let me make sure to put it on my notes and we'll be good to go. There we go. All right. So, about T2 Biosystems, T2, let's see, a leader in the rapid detection of what is it? Sepsis causing pathogens and antibiotic resistance genes, is dedicated to improving patient care and reducing the cost of care. Really cool. Really cool. All right. So that is going to do it for that ticker, you guys. And let's go ahead and move on to the next one. And what is it that we have next? So we have MINM, and this, I believe, was another ticker pick from the Discord, right? So if you guys are interested, right, you can join the Arca Bulls trading community in Discord, and there is a channel in there that's called Ticker Picker. So I often go into the Ticker Picker and I look at what you guys want to see, and I often choose from there, right? And I bring them into the schedule. So if you are looking into getting your ticker evaluated earlier, then yeah, consider going into the Discord, okay, you guys? So let me take a quick sip of water here and see what we got. DeMarcus Cousins telling me you are the man with a very kind donation. Thank you, my brother. That really means a lot. Sebastian Lim, you took finger out. Very good times here. DeMarcus, that's very nice of you, man. Thank you so much. So let's see. So now looking at, let me get the notes right here for MINM. Very good. All right, so now let's go ahead and get this moving. So again, you guys, it's looking like a broadening descending wedge, and it could be actually maybe in the 2-day or 3-day time frame. Maybe I was looking at it. I looked at it appear in the 5-day, but I thought it could have been a smaller time frame. And it's a very aggressive one. It's I'll show it to you right now, just like this. I think that we can line up the resistances pretty nicely. Let me just make sure that we do have those. In fact, I can make the adjustment to this this zone here, which very likely is the one. Okay. All right, good deal. So that's that's that, and then I think that this one can actually be favored like this. This one's a little more obvious, right? So, and actually I see the new line actually could be from here and then to the downside. So there we go. Okay, so this is another broadening descending wedge suggesting an upside, right? Sorry, it's to that. And let's see our resistance touches, okay? So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4, and we're testing the number 5, true breakout. So there could be an upside in this. Okay, so I'm not exactly sure just yet. DeMarcus Cousins said $50 donation if we get an Arca webcam live stream. That's very interesting because me and another user were actually talking about the potentials of me getting a face reveal like at 10,000 subs or something, right? So, and I'm not that far from it. So it's really funny that you would point that out today because I haven't talked about that in quite some time. So now that we have an upside probability or some type of thesis, remember that per the playbook rules, you are looking at take profit zone of this right over here. So that would be 54.95. We're at 12.80. I'm not saying that we're going there just yet. I'm just telling you how this is usually traded. Remember, guys, okay? But what I do like is this. Notice this very powerful signal here on the 3-day. Critical expansion, we're suggesting a potential mean reversion. So where in the crap could that massive mean reversion be? Powerlifter saying, what's up, my friend Arca and the Arca family, hoping all is well. All is well here, my dude. Very good to see you here. I hope all is well with you. Aiden Davis, I bet Arca is handsome, not financial advice. I bet he's handsome, not financial advice. Ah, dude, that was way too funny. Oh my goodness. All right, so anyway, so let's go ahead and continue on this, guys. If we're looking at a mean reversion play on the 3-day, very likely we can get it from our reversion variant. All right, so let's see. It's telling us that we could face 19 cents. We're currently at, well, actually, let's see. 12 hour, 1279. So yeah, even the after hour is actually very similar. So all good. DeMarcus Cousins saying on Latin sensations, Latino, you know it. All right, so yeah, and let me look at the 5-day to see if that setup is there. So the 5-day also has that setup. It is almost to that critical volatility zone, right? And already getting that bottom. The mean reversion is also near the 3-day. So this is 18 cents here on the 5-day. We have 19 cents on the 3-day. Very cool. Beso Amy saying half a face at 10K, meaning I'm gonna wear a mask just like TMI did for like a year or more. By daily time frame, also with a 19-cent reversion variant. Man, 19 cents is rhyming a lot. Okay, guys, let's see what's up. Daily time frame with a 15-cent, and we're very, very close to that reversion. So notice this too, we're at the resistance level, and that's also the reversion variant suggestion. So meaning that the test number 5 can actually go up to where? Look at the target here at the top side of the Bollinger Bands on the daily, 20 cents. The 19 and 20 cents is coming up too much, guys. Retracement from that 20 cent, then we come back and validate the 15-cent mean, and also the broadening descending wedge, newly converted resistance into support before a continuation to the upside. Okay, so this is looking pretty interesting. Okay, so still with an upside suggestion, very close to the bullish control zone here on the 12 hour, and the 12 hour is suggesting a mean reversion as well to 15 cents. Which is yet again, my goodness, yeah, this play is almost too easy, but sometimes we have to just be very careful with that, right? So there could be a reaccumulation phase on the short-term time frame. So to get long this ticker, we may have to look at the bi-hourly. Let's see. Yeah, okay, so the bi-hourly is essentially the culprit here. So 12-hour... I'm sorry, the bi-hourly 14-day simple moving average located right at the 50 percentile, and it very well could be 13 cents retracement from there. Let's see the 4-hour. Let's see so the 6 hours. So tomorrow, guys, there's gonna be an opportunity to get in this, but well, hold on. I'm not that excited about it yet. I just want to make sure that it is a good play. Okay, so we're consolidating right now. Okay, so that means that we can chop around this zone here. Okay, so very, very likely to, let me see, right at about here. So this is our chop zone, 1210 to about 1349. Very likely to find a touch back down to the space of about 1225 to about 1210. 1225 to 1210 would be that loading zone. I'm not sure that it can actually reach all the way down to the all-time low. The floor may already be in. And let's see. So then the upside is set to be continuous, actually, starting from maybe Wednesday next week, actually, or Tuesday next week. And the upside targets are pretty, there could be a pretty substantial upside. Even the weekly time frame suggesting 19 cents. So, it's just telling me that it is of a great necessity for us to kind of pierce through the resistance here, right, which could be around 15 cents. We go right up to that 19-cent zone or 20-cent zone, retrace, and then we validate this. This would be the conservative trader entering upon the validation of this newly converted resistance into support, and then riding this to the upside, okay? So now, the 25-cent target here that you're seeing on the weekly time frame is very much confluent to the bi-weekly mean. There you go, 25 cents. Okay, so there is a lot to look at for this ticker, and this target here could be reached in about maybe 4 weeks. 55 cents. Okay, so definitely be careful with this ticker, guys. But it's a nice play. It's just I think that we have to kind of find the floor down here, validate it a little more, and then we can continue on to that upside, right? So the float on this, let's see the details. 5.9 million on the so tiny cap, and then the 23 million float. Okay, so it is a little bit of a high risk play, but if we were looking at, I mean, yeah, it's gonna move a little slow too. Let's see. Yeah, it's kind of a slow mover. 2.4 million in 10-day average of volume, right? So still, yeah. We heading home in the AM Arca. Nice, man. What? That's cool. I know Ricky Gutierrez, the other trader, is actually in Hawaii right now. I'm not sure what island he's in, right? But it would be super freaking cool, man, if I can visit Hawaii soon. Say what's up to my boy, Cal. Powerlifter saying, Arca just recently learned how to view trading as a series of trades and not just focusing on individual trade results. Is a result of a series of trades to let your probability show its profit. Dude, that is called exposure. So yes, I definitely agree with you. Time behind it. That's why they say that you need to complete at least 3,000 hours of trading before you can become at least consistently breaking even or a little bit profitable. So when you reach about 5,000 hours, you're consistently profitable. And in my personal count, I process things a little bit differently from other people, but I think I'm just over 5,000 hours now. So yeah, Mark Roche, 3,000 hours. That sucks, right? So, but in music, I have 25,000 hours. So, but like I said, guys, it really depends on you. 3,000 hours is on average, right? So some may actually require 8,000 hours to get to consistently profitable. But in my case, I reach consistently profitable at 2,000 hours. So sometimes some traders actually make that consistently profitable mark at 8 months into trading. Some can make it even at 7 months at the very earliest, right? But and I'm talking about knowing the game and knowing the rules and all that good stuff. So basically, I'm saying explains all my losses. Oh my goodness, good deal. So guys, let's go ahead and rate this ticker. So slow mover, right? Slow mover, but the upside is present, okay? And the upside has a lot of confluent signals to 19 cents. Pull back to about the area of, remember, per this highlighted box, pull back to about 1210 to 1225 for a loading zone before a continuation to the upside. 15-cent rejection, coming back to our current highs of about 14 cents, then an upside continuation to potentially 19. Okay, so what is it going to be rated, chat? Let's go ahead and dive in. D- being your max loss and D+ being your break even. What is it looking like? All right, so let's see. So D- to A+. Remember, guys. So Sebastian Lim giving this a B-. And Mark Roche, you're saying 62,400 hours at my job, 30 years UPS. Damn, bro. My goodness. That is a lot of hours, bro. You are a super pro there. Joe H with a C+. Auto wrong doesn't help. Ian Tucker saying, oh boy, I have 2,999 and a half hours to go. Good times. Mark Rose with a B. Mark Rose with a B-. Beso Amy giving this a C. And yeah, Samantha, I agree, man. That's crazy, bro. Mark Rose with a 62,000 hours. Damn. All right, so I'm talking about my music experience at 25,000 hours. You know, mastery comes in at 10,000, right? Per the average. So 25,000 hours was with a full-time job and a wife. So that kind of sucked. So I'm sure I'll be way up higher. Beso Amy saying, love UPS, FedEx. The FedEx throw, oh my goodness. God. All right. So guys, I think that's a good way to, I think your ratings are good. All right. So let's, in my personal opinion, I think that let me see. So I always do that, man. I never look at my keyboard when I type, right? So I often type the wrong letters through your packages everywhere. All right, so long rating for this ticker, guys. I honestly would actually have to give this one probable C+. And the plus is very it could be buy rated, right? If you can give a minus to a C+, then I would give the C+ a minus. You know what I mean? Please let me know if you kind of catch my drift on that, right? So the C+, I mean it, but it's a very, very shallow C+. It's not close to a B. It's like a, if I'm going to give this C+ a rating, I'm going to give it a D+. Exactly. Kal-El is that's very much dead on the money, dude. I think rating this would be better upon the validations, right? So oh my goodness, guys. So if I gave my rating here, I would give it a D+ rating. All right, so I broke even on my C+ rating. All good, you guys. All right, so just real quick, you guys. I know that a lot of people were looking at this PXMD. I did speak about a potential weakness being found here, the downside being likely, right? So we did get that downside, huge resistance right here, right? So if you are very curious about your PXMD ticker, then I essentially am telling you that we're going to be chopping around. And remember, I gave this to you pretty fast the last time too, right? So the range that you're going to be looking at from now is going to be in respects to 179 to the top side of about 220. And that could present a very nice opportunity for both shorts and longs. Okay, so this is very likely going to, very likely going to be the case for the next days. Okay, so PXMD has some downside suggestions on the stochastic momentum starting on the 12-hour, right? Downside suggestions here on that daily time frame, which could tell you what, that's we already went up, right? And then on the 12-hour, right? So we already went up, so now we have to come back and retrace back to that chop zone, right? So this is what I'm looking at here, guys. So be careful with this ticker because there could be a preparation for an upside in, I think, maybe 2 weeks. But for now, it may be chopping around a very nice zone. Okay, sometimes people tend to take advantage of these areas because if you can see here, the top side is suggesting almost a 22% gain up and down. Okay, so if you know the range, if you know the chop box, as what it's called, right? So if you're going to be chopping around here, then this could be your get long, get short, get long, get short for a few days. And that, that's a pretty good way to trade and practice, right? But keep your eyes on things. Just keep your eyes on things. But this is suggesting choppy. All right? It's suggesting just helicopters here. All right, you guys? So be careful. So... And in reference to the last person who talked about CEOS, guys, there's a downside to be found in CEOS. Okay, that upside already kind of played its move, and that upside was found to be, let's see, from where we were looking at it, right? So we found that floor just recently, I think about a week ago. It made a 71% move to the upside. Okay, guys, there's only so much I can tell you when I give you a freaking play, right? I can't actually hold a gun to your head and say buy. First of all, I'm not a financial advisor, okay? So I signaled this upside days and days ago, all right? So the play has already happened, okay? So now it's trying to mean revert, okay? So if you're going to know what that mean reversion is, then let's pull up the arc reversion variant and see what it is. Okay, no, that is definitely not it. Let me pull up another time frame and see where that could be. No way. All right, we're resisting from the mean. I'm sorry. Damn it. Okay, so very likely going to come back down to the lower end of the Bollinger Bands. We did get that algorithmic sell right at the top target, by the way, right? So now we're suggesting a touch of about 341. Okay, so if you are hedging against this, nudge to the shoulder there real quick, right? So look, just go ahead and notice your RSIs, okay? RSI with the immediate upside here, but look at to the bi-hourly. There he goes. Downside gravitational zone. 6 hour downside gravitational zone. And let's see, the 12-hour, we have a downside and getting close to the gravitational zone, crossing below the 14-day simple. So yes, guys, I would kind of express some warning about this. Okay, so if you are looking at a saving potential, a little bit of a saving grace here, then I wouldn't actually take into consideration the mean at 4 cents, but let's just see what it can be in the fibs, right? So the 1.618 at 0415. Oh, so this is actually 4 cents at 4.5. Okay, so 4 cents at 415 would actually be a higher likelihood. But when I tell you the direct target like this, I really never actually mean there. Okay, so I actually mean just a little bit lower. So notice just a little bit lower, we have these resistance zones from these candles. So very likely going to be 410. Okay, so if you are long this ticker and this could be an area to kind of remove risk. All right, you guys, so I have to actually cut it off right here, guys. That would be the last of the tickers that we looked at, right? So I just wanted to give a quick little shout to the people who have been asking me for the ticker symbol PXMD and CEOS, right, you guys? So that, you guys, will do it for tonight. I really appreciate everybody for coming by. I love that we had a full house the entire time. Aiden Davis, thanks, man. No, my friend. You to go. Thank you. All right, my bro. So by the way, Aiden, have a very safe trip. Okay, dude. I hope you and your family are good with the flights and stuff, right? So I hope that you guys don't get sick or nothing like that. So Godspeed to you and your family, my dude. And I'm sure you'll see Kal-El very soon. All right, so my moderators, Hound, Samantha H, Moderator Cal, Sebastian Lim, appreciate everything you do for me. You guys, Cha-Cha, what's up, man? Thank you. Miss L, always good to see you here. Always a pleasure. All right, so so Barbara Young, have a very good night. Powerlifter, if you're still here, appreciate you, my bro. Ian Tucker, have a very good night, okay, you guys? Very much appreciate everybody. Samantha H, take care, okay, you guys? And if you have any questions, again, you guys, refer to the links in the description below. Remember to reserve your seat for the next ArcMasters trading course, which will be starting in the 2nd or 3rd week of April. And everything will be good, all right, you guys? But with that said, I wish everybody a very good night. Snowdrifter, what's up, man? I wish everybody a very good night, and I will catch you at the bell mañana. Mark Roach, appreciate you, my dude. Later, bro. DeMarcus, see you mañana. Yeah, Sunday, man. Let's get it.